Alrighty, let's get that scene off. Why is it showing that? I'm on the wrong one. This one. Hey, what up? Right. So, the stream is looking at the left screen. It should be the right screen. There we go. Right. So, hello. Hey Fabio, how you doing, mate? Right. So, Fabio, you're going to know what's going on here. This is the file system root API, and this was we saw Ray playing about this today with Mark Denmark, and it didn't go too well for her. So I'm going to do a quick explainer on how to do it with MDX, because it seems to work in MDX better than it does in Mark Denmark. So what am I going to do? I'm going to need a terminal. So the Windows terminal, not my weather app. Oh, right, and I'm going to do Gatsby. Right, so I'm going to want this, and Gatsby new, and this is going to be what's it called? File system root API. Yeah, but this is a fun start to the stream, isn't it? Gatsby file system root API MDX. Yeah, I could make it any longer, possibly. Right, let's get that cloned, and I'm just going to split this, and that one. There we go. Open up the code editor. Pop that over here. Make it bigger. Let's just check that zoom level. 2. Is that too big? Is it too big? Right, is this installed? Okay, let's change directory. And do yarn and yarn dev. Right, so what do we need? What do we need for this? So I'm going to be using MDX. I've done this a couple of times now, and basically I'm just going to jack some of the code I've got from my website, but the reason for Gatsby file system root API was so you could do away with Gatsby node. So for Gatsby node here, there's like create pages where you will just query all of your MDX files here, and then I'll use this create node field to generate a slug for each one of these items in here, and then use that to generate each page. With the Gatsby file root API, it's a lot to pronounce, isn't it? I am Gatsby does all that for you. So let's just switch this camera to this one, so you can see me when I'm looking over here. Yeah, that'll do. I mean, it's only small, right? And you want to see the code rather than my face. Less of me rambling, more of me coding. So what are we going to need? So first up, we're going to need some content. So I'm going to have a folder, and I'm going to call it content. And then in content, I like to structure my paths, my slugs, like this. So it's bit 29. And you know what? Rather than me try to get all of that content, I'm just going to jack it from my site. So let's just do this here. Explorer. Just you're not watching me generating MDX files or MD files. So this is the Explorer. I'm going to go to my scottspence.com and the content I've got here. You know, let's just jack all of it, get all of that, and then let's put it into this one I've just created here. And look, I'm not going to use it all, but it's a good starting point. Right, let's close that. Go to content. So I've got copy and posts. Well, I don't need copy. Let's go to that. And posts. Let's go to that. And let's just get rid of everything. You know, let's just go back to the Explorer again. Get rid of that, and that. Just have 2020 posts. And we'll cut that. Why can't I cut it? X. And then rather than have posts, we'll just put it into content. Cool. So now we've got lots of content. I mean, let's just do. I've got like a fair bit of content in each one of these. Let's just forget the first 8 months of the year. Right. So I've got a bit of content now. And I'm going to want to. So Gatsby node, we're not going to need this, supposedly. Gatsby browser, Gatsby SSR, I've already set up to use the root wrapper method. So this is just exporting this into Gatsby SSR and Gatsby browser here. So if I want to change anything, I just change it in one location. Cool. There's plenty more scene setting to do, but I'll be honest, there's a bit I need to work through here. So let's just check the chat quickly. What's going on? Still just Fabio. Hey man, thanks. Right. So Gatsby source file system. We need one for the content folder here. Let's just get rid of that. Oh, get rid of that. Put the content and save that. And I'm going to want Gatsby MDX. So let's just go back to scottspence.com to my Gatsby config and this object here. So this is Gatsby plugin MDX. Just going to jack that and put that up here, but I don't need any of these plugins just yet. Gatsby remote plugins. So let's just comment those out. So, and I'm going to need to install the Gatsby plugin MDX. So the yarn add, and yep, Gatsby plugin MDX, because I've done this previously. Gatsby plugin MDX, MDX/MDX. MDX.js React, and let's just install the Gatsby source file system again. And let's just see what we've got on localhost 8000. This is where I was working on earlier. Let's close that and that. Okay, so this is the Chakra UI version of the Gatsby default starter. So in a previous video, I just transferred all this over to use Chakra. So if you're watching in the dark, sorry for light mode, let's put it back to dark. So I'm going to add in those files which we've added in this content here. So I'm probably going to need to kick off the dev server again, but let's just check on 404.js if you've got anything generated for us. Nothing at the moment. So the Gatsby root APIs, you have this curly boy notation. So I'm going to want to do something where you have product, which is like a query, and then the field, which is one of the first fields in that query, like for mark down remark. Then you have parent with the file name, which I think is going to point to, so like the parent would be like this, I think, how to monetize your content, let's say. But just let me kick off the dev server again and then see what we've got in the graphical explorer. So I'd like to keep hold of that if I can. Let's just refresh it. And because the dev server's running, there we go. Right, let's try this. Hit refresh. Cool. Right, so all MDX. All MDX isn't showing. Why is that? So I've got my Gatsby plugin MDX, which I've added, and Gatsby source file system is pointing to the content folder. Right. Burp. Should be doing the thing. Why is it not doing the thing? Let's try again. Refresh. Why am I not seeing MDX? Burp. What did I miss? Let's plug in MDX. All that's in there. I didn't save. Like a donut. Right. Oh my god. Right. Schoolboy error. Let's try that again. Why is it not showing MDX? Why you do this? That's finished. MDX, here it is. Right, okay, cool. All MDX. Let's put it in a... Right, see what we've got. So rather than edges, we're going to use nodes. And then title. What have we got? Body, children, front matter, title. We want slug. So this slug, this is generated by the Roots API. And as far as I'm aware, it's not part of the all markdown remark implementation of this. So this is a nice little feature we've got, and I can use that for creating pages. So if we do the front matter, and then we don't want private, we want title. So we've got a list of all of the posts which are in the content folder here. Cool. Right. So now we've done that. I can close that, and I can go into the pages. Pages folder is like a special folder in Gatsby. It's used for the reach router routing. So you put any page in here, like index or page 2, it'll just create a page 2 or an index, or this using TypeScript page. But I want to do one which is going to use MDX, and we want to get the slug, and that's going to be a .js file, not comma, .js. Cool. And then in here we get React, and then what page is this? It's an MDX page. Post page, whatever. That's descriptive enough for me. And this is going to return yo. Ooh. Yo. Right. So I'm hoping that if I refresh this now, I should see some routes. No. So from playing about with it earlier, I think I need to put this into this page here. Export const, and it's just a query, and it is GraphQL, Gatsby GraphQL, and do you think I can uncomment this? No. Right. Maybe it's it. Right, I just want to validate that it generates the nodes without using a query. So I'm going to go to my terminal here and just restart the dev server again. So I just want to validate that. Sorry for the light theme, you can't change this. I'm hoping this is going to generate some files. Doesn't appear to have. Right. On here. It does. Right. So each one of these now should just be like yo. Maybe if I picked one which was regenerated. Yeah, so yo. So cool. So I don't need to have this in here now, but then this is what I'm going to use to generate the pages. So these, if you're not familiar with Gatsby, these queries get pulled out at runtime and build time, and then the result of this query gets passed into this page here as data, and we can then log this out. Let's do one with the nice lines, and then if I go back to one of these pages here and then go to the terminal, I can see the MDX object here. Cool. So now I can start creating pages with this data. So I don't want to use that. Let's just keep the empty fragment for now, and then we'll put this in some parentheses. And first up, we want to have the MDX renderer, and then that's going to use the body of our MDX here. So what I could do is data.mdx.body, and then that should render out something. Maybe if I had it on a post, which that's literally the post. So I'm going to delete that. So it's not going to look good when I eventually. Where is that? 10:05. That's an unwritten post. Pick something else. That's a good one. Getting started with YouTube. Get rid of that. Cool. Okay, so now this has all been rendered out via the MDX renderer. And I can put in some additional information in here as well. But rather than having to do data.mdx.body or data.mdx.slug, data.mdx.formatter.date.title, I'm just going to destructure them out into into some variables here. So this is going to be data.mdx, and then in here now I have the body and front matter front, and then from the front matter I'm going to get out the date and title. Let's just get the title for now, and put that into a H2 title. Let's make this body. Just check that quickly before I go any further. Okay, cool. So you might notice that there's absolutely no formatting with any of this. So that's because we need to identify in this MDX file what needs to have what styles applied to it. So at the moment this is just a default. We can go into inspect it and see that these are all P's, the H2 at the top here, some lists as well, a UL here. It's all just got terrible styling. So to do that, I'm going to need to use the MDX, not MDX renderer, the MDX provider. And I've done that in this root wrapper component, or root wrapper, doesn't matter what you call it. So in here, I'm going to want to bring in the MDX provider, and for some reason MDX provider, I can't auto import it. MDX modal context provider, it's not that. So I'm gonna have to import it like a caveman in here from MDX React, and then it is provider something, MDX provider. And then with this, I can plonk this in here, plonk, and then move our layer into that. And then this takes components, and then the components, oops, I need to put up here. J's components, which is an object. And it, excuse me, for the H2, for each H2 we have in the markdown, we want to assign it to a text component from Chakra, which I think is this one down here. This is also import from Chakra. And I think I also need to bring in the props, but for now let's just do the font size and make that 3 XL maybe, and then close that. And then I also need to bring in the props, and then a fat arrow, and then the props are going to be spread into this component here. So anything the text is wrapping here is going to get applied. It's going to have the So the children of the H2, which would be the text that's in it, will be spread into this text component. So let's use these components in the MDX renderer, MDX provider here. So now anything that is below this, and this is like at the top of the component tree, being passed straight into Gatsby browser and Gatsby SSR. We should see that being applied to, yeah, this. So this, what is this as inspect? It's a H2. Should there be a H1? That is outside of the MDX, so we're going to need to apply that in here and use it again, text from chakra, just right down here for some reason. And there's a lot of styles I need to apply to this as well. Let's just do it for now. Font size, and this was Excel 5. Try that. Did I import it? Where's the console? Right. 5XL maybe? Did I do that wrong? That's my root wrapper. 3XL, yeah, I did it wrong. Excel 5. Right, that is super duper big. Oh. Cool, that'll do. That'll do. Right, so that's how you start the MDX. And then every item underneath this, I'm going to need to apply a style to for that. And that's quite a bit. So I think it's outside the scope of this stream. So this is just to cover how to sort of get the roots working, which I've sort of done, and not really given a clear indication, I don't think. Let me know in the chat if there's anything you need explaining, but that's pretty much what I'm going to go with for that. So if we're looking at our 404 page, we've got everything here which should be like rendered out into its own nice-ish looking page, but there's still a fair bit of styling to do. So let me pass in some more stuff to the root wrapper here. So let's do P, and then we'll make P text, but just have it as Excel, and let's see what that looks like. Wow, that flash, whew, much better. Okay, I like that. So let's go back to main page here, and at the moment we've just got this. So I think I'm going to need to have some way to iterate through it. So to do that, just use this all MDX query. Well, this one here actually, it's the same as that. And just plonk that into the index page. Let's get that here, and let's take this from an export default method to a function. Okay, I don't need any of that now. And then wrap this in some curly boys. Cool. And then I want to get the data from the query I haven't written yet. I'm going to put that down here. and it's going to be GraphQL again. And that. So now in here, I should be able to access, let's just do data, all MDX. That's what I'm expecting to see. And let's go to the index page. Here we go. And just refresh that. There's been a lot of warnings, and we've got the nodes and the ID, right amount of slug of each post. So I can use that in here now to get like a list of posts. So with Chakra UI, I think there's a card. Card component? No? I thought there was like a nice UI component for Chakra to use as a card. For now, let's just get data dot all, is it all MDX? All MDX nodes. I actually just have this as posts. Cool. Okay. Where's that screen? Oop. Right, I'm back. And I'm by myself. Okay. So, yeah, Fabio, the routing is similar to the Next.js one. Yeah. Right, let's just finish off what I'm doing, and I'm going to pack up the stream. Oh, I've been streaming for 45 minutes. Okay, so posts. Let's use these. Rid of this image. And I'm going to basically do something like this. Just copy paste that. And instead of it being to page 2 here, it's going to be to post.slug. But post.slug doesn't exist yet because I need to put this in a loop. Oops. And it's being post dot title. And I've done this ask about face because this needs to go into this. Oh man, it's a mess. Right, let's just cut this. Right. So now do posts. And if that is valid, then we're going to do posts.map. And then each post that's in here, we're going to want to basically just get out this. But I'm going to need to return it first. Z Scott. Control Z. Right. Oop. Just making a mess. Right. So it's this. One of these. Copy that. Put that in here. Right. So I'm going to post. Title. And we could also do an excerpt in here, but just for purposes of this, it's going to have it as the link, and then this is going to be post.slug. Right. See how that looks. Looks very not worky. Right, what have we done? Let's have a look. Post sign of value but never used. If I right here, ID. Am I getting at the right stuff? Slug. That matter title. Oof. Yikes. This is a P. Right, cool. And then we can click into each one of these. Nice. Cool. So I think that's going to be it for this stream. I'm going to wrap it up at that point. I'm going to put this onto GitHub and work on it a bit more so it looks a bit nicer than this. I'm pretty sure Chakra's got like a card component. Docs. No, I thought it had a card component. I'm sure it had a card component. Divide a list. Maybe it's just a list component. No. Stat? Something like that. Badge? Yeah. Code. I'm going to use that, but not in here. It's KPD. Keyboard key? No. I think it's going to be stat, but just with not with that in it. No. Don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. But that's it for this one. So hope you enjoyed it. Got a bit out of it, and I'm glad I could just chill and stream it. So thanks again. Catch you in the next one. Cheers. Bye bye.